Hi, I'm Andy Panko, owner of Tenon Financial. Welcome to Retirement Planning Demystified. This is the third and final part of my series on how to find a financial advisor. This video will explain how to go about determining the best kind of advisor for you, where to go to actually find an advisor that meets your criteria, and will also give some other helpful tips and info you can use in your search. With that said, let's jump in. We ended part 2 discussing conflicts of interest and what it means to be fee only. Now, I'll start by discussing how to actually find the right advisor for you. I break that process down into 2 main steps. First, select the advisor profile best suited for you and your needs. Again, don't assume all advisors are created equal. First, determine the profile of advisor most appropriate for your individual needs. Second, once you actually piece together the ideal advisor type for you, you can use one of the various different search tools to target your search to screen out the advisors who don't match the profile you're looking for. Let's walk through this some more. When selecting the best advisor profile for you and your needs, ask yourself 4 questions. First, what products or services do I need? For example, maybe you have a good handle on your financial life and are only looking to buy some life insurance. Or maybe you're just looking for someone to manage your investments. Perhaps you're looking for a comprehensive financial plan where someone could take a look at the entirety of your financial life and put together a plan to make recommendations. Or maybe you're just looking for some one-time advice about something specific and don't want or need a whole big financial plan. The second question to ask yourself is, which of the 3 types of advisor is most appropriate for my needs? The answer to this question will be based on your answer to the first question. As an example, if you know you are only looking for life insurance, then you need an insurance agent. You don't necessarily want or need someone who is also a securities broker or an investment advisor. Or if you know you are only looking for investment management, then you'll obviously want to find an investment advisor, not an insurance agent or a securities broker. If you want a comprehensive financial plan or one-time advice, you'll likely want the financial planner who will be regulated as an investment advisor and not affiliated with any insurance or brokerage companies. However, there is potentially value in one-stop shopping. For example, if someone puts together a holistic, comprehensive financial plan for you, and one of the recommendations is to buy life insurance, do you want that same person to be able to sell you the insurance, or would you rather keep the advice separate and distinct from the product sale? The third question is, how much am I willing to pay and by what means? You have to make sure you understand how the advisor will be paid. Recall from my previous video that insurance agents are paid by commissions on products they sell. When you buy life insurance, you won't directly pay the salesperson anything. You'll have to pay premiums to the insurance company, and the salesperson is ultimately paid from those premiums. But you won't directly pay the commission out of your own pocket. If you end up working with an investment manager, you'll typically pay a percentage of your assets under management each year, and that fee is normally deducted directly from your account. Let's say you pay 1% of assets under management and your account size is $500,000. That means you'll be paying the advisor $5,000 per year for their services. Again, this will likely come directly out of your investment account as opposed to having to write a check, but still, you're directly paying nonetheless. If you pay an advisor just to create a financial plan or provide some hourly or one-time advice, and that advisor isn't also managing your investments, you'll have to pay out of pocket for the services. Most advisors in this case will accept check, credit card, or ACH bank transfer. Keep in mind that even if an advisor says a financial plan is quote-unquote free, it's never actually free. You're paying for it somehow. It must mean they're getting paid by managing your investments, or they're selling you some kind of product for a commission. Or, if it really is free, after completing your plan, the advisor will likely relentlessly hound you with follow-up calls and emails to try to get you to use other services, paid services. The fourth question to ask yourself when determining the best advisor profile is, which credentials are applicable and important? Decide which credentials are relevant and desired for your needs. For example, certain services or transactions are very straightforward and don't require much experience or expertise. In this case, it would be overkill to insist the person has a host of designations and decades of experience. Generally speaking, the more complex your needs, the more likely you'll want to know the advisor is appropriately educated, experienced, and credentialed. You can do this by looking for applicable previous experience and relevant professional designations, like how long has the advisor been in the industry, and does he or she have any of the designations that demonstrate additional knowledge and expertise in the particular area you're looking for. I would say that if you're looking for comprehensive financial planning, only consider advisors who have earned one of the financial planning designations, which is a certified financial planner, chartered financial consultant, or personal financial specialist. Now that you have sketched out the profile of the ideal advisor you're looking for, the second step is to go and actually find someone who meets that criteria. There are a few ways to go about this. If you only need a particular product, such as life insurance, just look for a company that sells that product, like any of the major life insurance companies in that case. Now, I can't give specific company names, but I'm sure you've seen or have at least heard of a handful of major insurance companies before. They have really big marketing and advertising budgets, so chances are you already know of a few. But basically, just call or email any of the big name companies who sell that product, or you can find an independent broker by searching online, or you can look to see if you can buy it yourself directly online without having to go through a live agent. If you only need investment management, you then have to determine how hands-on you want the relationship to be. There are online investment advisors known as robo-advisors, which only charge about 0.3% of assets under management per year. Such platforms put you in a portfolio of low-cost, passive, diversified funds, which are properly allocated for your risk profile. However, you normally don't get any other advice or services from these low-cost providers. And you typically don't get to talk to a live person, at least not without having to pay extra. If you're generally comfortable with managing your overall financial life, but just want to farm out the implementation of investment management, a robo-advisor may be a good option for you. If you want investment management, but want more than a robo provides, you'll need a traditional investment manager. And by traditional, I mean one where you interact with a living, breathing person. Real investment managers generally charge between 1 to 1.5% of assets under management per year. This is obviously a lot more than the 0.3% charged by most robos. Do you actually need a real investment manager instead of just a robo? Well, that depends. Many investment advisors practice what's called active management, where they try to heavily research economic trends and even individual companies to try to time when to pick hopeful winners and when to sell losers. Versus passive management is what most robos do, where they invest you in low-cost diversified funds, which usually mimic the returns of stock and bond indices. There's limited evidence that active management produces better returns than lower-cost passive alternatives, particularly when considering the higher fees of active managers. Now, with that said, if you're only looking for basic investment management, maybe a robo is all you need. But there is definitely value in having a real person to talk to and help you manage the behavioral aspects of investing, like stopping you from acting on emotions instead of prudent investment discipline. As an example, many people buy investments when things are high and sell when things are low. That's the exact opposite of what you're supposed to do. An advisor can help you avoid those mistakes. I'll share some search tools in a few slides. If you only need financial planning and not product sales or investment management, there are many planning-focused organizations and associations that have advisor search tools. In many cases, planners also offer investment management, sometimes as a standalone service separate from financial planning. Remember, that's because financial planning kind of tucks itself under the regulations for investment advisors. So, even if a planner doesn't actually offer investment management, he or she will most likely be regulated as an investment advisor anyway. Therefore, some of the following search tools on the next few slides will not only allow you to search for financial planners, but also investment managers. So without further ado, let's get to the search options. All of the organizations you're about to see are not actual advisor companies. Instead, they're groups of advisors from various unrelated companies who join the organizations because of a common theme or interest, or to share knowledge and best practices amongst each other. You can kind of think of it like a trade group almost. In each case, advisors pay to be part of the network or organization. Each of these organizations has a website that has a free advisor search tool. Also, advisors can join multiple organizations, so you may see the same advisor pop up in searches within different organizations. The first is the National Association of Personal Financial Advisors, or NAPFA. NAPFA is the nation's largest independent organization of fee-only investment managers and financial planners. In full disclosure, I myself am a member of NAPFA. Recall from my part 2 video that fee-only means no ability to sell any products for commission. That means you won't be able to find any insurance or security salespeople on NAPFA, which rules out virtually all of the big name bank, brokerage, and insurance companies you've heard of before. But that was NAPFA's intention, to create a group that is truly focused on just investment management and/or financial planning and is committed to being fee only. The second organization is the Garrett Planning Network. Now, like NAPFA, all advisors in this organization are required to be fee only. The main difference between Garrett and NAPFA is that Garrett specifically requires all advisors in its network to offer hourly services. NAPFA does not. So if you're just looking for some hourly advice, Garrett may be your best bet. Next is the XY Planning Network. XY also requires all its members to be fee only. Its intention was originally that all advisors focus on serving generations X and Y. However, they no longer require that. For example, I'm also a member of XY Planning Network, and my practice focuses squarely on retirement planning. There's one other common denominator across these three organizations. In addition to requiring all members to be fee only, all three also require all members to have the Certified Financial Planner designation, which is a good thing. It shows these organizations are serious about financial planning. The next organization I'd like to discuss is the Alliance of Comprehensive Planners, or ACP. ACP also requires all its members to be fee only and have the Certified Financial Planner designation. ACP members also need to offer comprehensive financial planning, not just investment management. But ACP's main difference from the other groups is that its members all have an emphasis on providing tax knowledge and planning. The final search tool I want to mention is from the CFP board, which is the organization that oversees the Certified Financial Planner designation. Now, obviously, every advisor in this search tool will have the CFP designation, but unlike the other four options, this is the only one where members do not have to be fee only, which means you will find advisors here who also have insurance or securities or brokerage licenses. Finally, I'd like to share some additional info which will be helpful in searching for an advisor. The New Jersey Bureau of Securities provides a free financial professional interview questionnaire which contains really great questions you should ask any potential financial advisor. The questions touch on most of the things discussed in these videos, so they really help you sift through all the stuff you need to know in finding an advisor. While this questionnaire is from New Jersey, most of its questions are general and applicable to advisors in any state. I highly recommend you use this or something like it in interviewing advisors. Next, in addition to what you learned in these videos, it will be helpful to do as much other research as you can into the process of finding an advisor. You can Google things like how to find a financial advisor or what to look for in a financial advisor. Also, you definitely want to check to see if your potential advisor has previously disclosed negative events, complaints, or regulatory violations. The way you search for this info will depend on how the advisor is regulated. Unfortunately, for insurance agents, it's pretty hard to find this info. That's mainly because insurance agents are separately regulated in each state they do business. However, there is a national insurance body called the National Association of Insurance Commissioners, which has a complaint search tool. But unfortunately, that tool appears to only show complaints against companies, not specific agents. Most of the big insurance companies have hundreds of agents, so it may not help very much to only know information about a whole company instead of an individual agent. For securities brokers, complaints and violations are closely tracked by their governing body, FINRA. And FINRA has a great search tool called BrokerCheck. There you can see complaints and violations against not just brokerage companies, but individual salespeople. BrokerCheck also provides fairly thorough details around the circumstances of the complaints and violations. For investment advisors, the Securities and Exchange Commission has a tool similar to that of BrokerCheck, but the SEC tool is called the Investment Advisor Public Disclosure, or IAPD, database. And even if the investment advisor is only registered at the state level as opposed to the SEC level, the same IAPD database is applicable as the states use the SEC's advisor registration and disclosure platform instead of building their own. Well, that's it for my three-part series on how to find a financial advisor. If you don't have much experience with financial advisors or the financial industry, you may have found the info in these videos a little shocking and maybe overwhelming. But that's understandable because the industry is unfortunately a hodgepodge of different titles, regulations, standards of care, compensation methods, products and services, and so forth. But I hope these videos at least provided you with some knowledge and confidence to better sift through all the noise to find an advisor who is right for you. If you like these videos, subscribe to this channel so you can be the first to know when new videos are posted. And don't forget to subscribe to my monthly newsletter, Retirement Planning Insights, which provides informative retirement planning tips and info. Also, be sure to join my free Facebook group, Taxes in Retirement, where you can get answers to all your retirement-related tax questions. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.